Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another action movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Batman Returns, released in 1992. Batman Returns stars Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, Michael Gough, Pat Hingle, Michael Murphy, and Andrew Bryniarski. Batman Returns was directed by Tim Burton. Now this one, Warner Brothers did not bring back Sam Hamm to fully write this script. It was written by Daniel Waters instead, through the insistence of Tim Burton. Now, this is one of my underlining problems with Batman Returns, because when Warner Brothers went to Tim Burton to direct this, he literally told them that he didn't intend to direct a direct sequel to Batman 1989, because he felt that he was stilted as a director and was held back while making Batman. And he didn't want to make another film like that. So if he was going to direct this, he wanted full creative control. So Warner Brothers, in their stupid-ass infinite wisdom, decided not to bring back the awesome producing duo of Goubers and Peters, who were essentially the reason why Batman 89 was so good and so successful, because they did rein in Tim Burton. But they pulled them away and didn't bring them back. And instead they brought in a couple of producers that would be, just there to let Tim Burton do whatever he wanted. Wow. First off, he could have just went with one villain, but no, he has to put two villains in it. And the villains that were chosen could have been good in this film, but neither one is the comic book version of these characters. Not by a long shot. Michelle Pfeiffer would have been a beautiful, great choice to play Selina Kyle, Catwoman. But the way that Tim Burton creates Selina Kyle, she goes from being in the comics, being this strong, independent, badass woman, even before she becomes Catwoman, to, in this film, she's this weak, timid secretary. And to make matters worse, they added a third villain to this that is not even related to the comics, with Christopher Walken's Max Schreck, which I love Christopher Walken, but if you're going to put him in a Batman film, put him in there as a character from the fucking comics and make his character make sense. What he is here for is just a manipulation to both Catwoman and the Penguin. That's the only reason he's here. And that sucks, because it's a waste of a fine actor. Like I said, Michelle Pfeiffer is amazing once she becomes Catwoman. In the costume and playing Catwoman, that is how she should have been without the costume. That same badassery. So it makes no sense that this timid, innocent, sweet secretary gets tossed out a fucking window, dies, gets licked by some cats, and becomes, oh, I'm a total badass now. It's fucking stupid. So, what they did with her was travesty enough. But then they allowed Burton to cast Danny DeVito as the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. And this would have been perfect casting had it been done proper. In the comics, Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin, he is named the Penguin because his character wears a tuxedo that makes him look like a penguin, and he walks with a cane, and when he walks, he waddles like a penguin. That is the reason why they call him the Penguin. It isn't because he has a physical deformity that makes him look like a literal penguin. And then the whole bullshit of him being rejected and thrown away by his parents, father of whom was the late Paul Reubens, who unfortunately passed away recently. And they give him away, and these penguins find him and take him in. And it's just this is stupid Tim Burton bullshit that Goobers and Peters, if they were producing this, they would have never allowed any of that shit to happen. But DeVito would have been good, but the way he is in this, oh my God, this is a god-awful variation of the Penguin character. Horrible. And those of you who would be excited for the return of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne / Batman, you're going to be sadly disappointed as well. Because even though Michael Keaton gets top billing in this film, he has a fraction of the screen time that he had in the previous film, which was one of my worries with the original film, was that Jack Nicholson got top billing over Michael Keaton, and I thought that, Jack was going to get more screen time than Michael was, but that didn't happen. In that film, they had pretty equal screen time. That was good. Gave the villain plenty of time to shine in his scenes, and it gave Batman time to shine in his scenes. This is not the case. Aside from a couple of fairly good scenes with Michael Gough, who's always great, as Alfred Pennyworth and Bruce Wayne, and a couple of really cool fight scenes between Batman and Catwoman, most of Batman's other screen time are doing fight scenes that are badly staged, badly executed. It just looks horrible. And I'll say this about the original film. The original film did not have very good fight choreography either in it. But at least the character of Batman was there, and that's what made that rise above the limitations that Tim Burton is not that good at staging a fight scene. So, the only thing that helped with the Catwoman versus Batman sequences, apparently, is that the legendary kickboxer Kathy Long was brought in to do the fight scenes for that sequence as Catwoman. So any of that flipping, any of that kicking, any of that badass fighting that Michelle Pfeiffer's doing, that's the amazing kickboxer Kathy Long. And she is incredible in those sequences. That's why I said, Catwoman could have been a great villain in this. A great character. But the way it is executed is horribly done. Andrew Bryniarski is in here as Max Schreck's son, Chip, and Andrew Bryniarski ends up going on to play not only Zangief in the Street Fighter movie, but he also goes on to play Leatherface in the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and its prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. But yeah, this just, it never worked for me. Upon future viewings, I thought I'd give it an extra chance and try and see if I was wrong in my initial viewing of it, and it's never helped because of Tim Burton's over-the-top way that he put this film together. Visually, it is gorgeous. Tim Burton has the eye to do some, great visuals. But if you let him go completely over the top and crazy with it, this is what you get. And this is the reason why Batman Returns, 1992, I am going to give this film a 7.5 out of 10. It is nowhere near as great as Batman 1989. Tim Burton, you should have allowed Goobers and Peters to come back to micromanage your film, because then you might have had a worthy successor to Batman 89. Instead, you decided to try and get creative control because you thought you were the main reason why that film was great, and you weren't. So, what did you think of this film? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. And as usual, if you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you can be notified for future videos. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this review, and I hope you will join me tomorrow for another video game night. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.